He was present, much like a steadfast peak. Absolutely. Marcus Smart is responding to Jayson Tatum, and it's turning heated. Just after joining the Lakers, Marcus knew Celtic supporters would surely target him. I can't say for certain, but I can clearly anticipate a lot of jeers. Anticipating a wave of negativity, Marcus Smart was caught off guard when Jayson Tatum joined in the criticism. Now, Smart is retaliating, and his responses to Tatum are quite dramatic. Let's delve into the chaos of how Marcus Smart turned on Boston and confronted his ex-teammates. The summer of 2025 was anticipated as a time for renewal among numerous NBA teams. Yet, no one, I seriously mean no one, could have foreseen that Marcus Smart, the driving force of the Boston Celtics for almost 10 years, would choose to join their fiercest competitors, the Los Angeles Lakers. This isn't merely another free agency move, folks. It's akin to a sharp blade being driven right through the hearts of every Celtic supporter who had witnessed Smart embodying the green spirit for 9 remarkable seasons. Just checking in. Are you holding it together? So what's your next move? Are you cheering for Marcus, which implies you're backing the Lakers? Or do you find yourself wanting the Lakers to lose, hoping that Marcus find his groove? Let me illustrate just how impactful this decision really is. Marcus Smart, the NBA's Defensive Player of the Year in 2022, joined the Los Angeles Lakers in July 2025 after finalizing a buyout deal with the Washington Wizards. We're discussing an athlete who personified the essence of Boston, tenacity and a hardworking attitude that endeared him to a devoted following. And now he dons the purple and gold, the hues of a team that symbolizes what Boston loathes. I receive a call from my agent saying, I heard he's reached out, and I'm thinking, sure, whatever. You see, and on yet another day, found myself in a similar situation, facing the need to reset once more. And now it's genuine. It's not just an idea anymore. It's tangible, and we must address it. However, prior to exploring the utter turmoil that followed this revelation, let's grasp the profound connections that Smart's had in Boston. This wasn't just a role player bouncing around the league. Smart was selected 6th overall by the Celtics in 2014 and spent 9 seasons in Boston, making the playoffs each year and advancing to the Eastern Conference Finals 5 times. He endured the team's rebuilding phase, faced the gut-wrenching defeats, and experienced the near-championship seasons. He was the unwavering force, the reliable presence Celtics fans knew they could rely on to exert maximum effort every moment on the court. The statistics illustrate the narrative of a player who played a vital role in Boston's achievements. His 2022 accolade as Defensive Player of the Year, along with 3 All-Defensive First-Team honors and 3 Hustle Awards, solidified his status as a relentless defender and hard worker. This player was known for sacrificing his body, diving for loose balls, drawing charges, and handling all the unglamorous tasks that often go unnoticed but are crucial for winning games. Then came a transformative trade. In the summer of 2023, Marcus Smart moved to the Memphis Grizzlies as part of a deal that sent Kristaps Porzingis to Boston. The basketball community recognized the decision from a tactical angle. The Celtics required Porzingis' height and offensive prowess to enhance their superstar pairing of Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Yet for the supporters, it seemed as though the franchise had severed its essence and dealt it away. The harsh irony of the moment couldn't be more stinging. Smart's shift to the Lakers arrives during a tough offseason for Celtics followers who have witnessed vital contributors to the 2024 championship, such as Kristaps Porzingis, Drew Holiday, Luke Cornett, and possibly Al Horford leave as Boston navigates its financial landscape. The squad that Smart played a crucial role in forming, the environment he nurtured, finally attained the pinnacle in 2024. They clinched the title that had remained just out of reach for ages. Yet, Marcus Smart was absent from the festivities. His journey to the Lakers was complicated and fraught with setbacks. Following his trade to Memphis, Smart faced numerous injuries, appearing in just 20 games during his inaugural season with the Grizzlies. The squad that invested heavily to bring him on board soon recognized their error. They believed they were securing the Defensive Player of the Year in Marcus Smart, someone who could solidify their defense and offer veteran guidance. However, injuries plagued him, and he appeared to have lost some of his edge. This was followed by his trade to Washington, a straightforward salary dump from Memphis. In February 2024, Smart was dealt to the Washington Wizards as part of a larger trade involving the Memphis Grizzlies. He appeared in just 15 games for the Wizards, logging minimal minutes as he continued to struggle with injuries. For a player who had once been the emotional core of teams vying for championships, landing on a franchise in the midst of a rebuilding phase that aimed to lose games must have been disheartening. The Wizards dedicated their efforts to nurturing young talent and aiming for a top draft pick, rendering a seasoned veteran like Smart unnecessary. With the Wizards focused on rebuilding, they allowed Smart to engage with other teams prior to finalizing the buyout, making his departure a foregone conclusion. It was evident that Smart needed to seek a new environment where he could again make an impact in competitive basketball. When you have someone like Luke and Colin reaching out to check in on you, seeing if you'd be interested in joining the exciting project they're developing here, it adds to the appeal. When he expressed that he truly values my assistance, it really resonated with me. Out of all the teams in the NBA and the myriad of suitable options for a player of Smart's talent and background, the Lakers stand out as the one franchise that would inflict the deepest anguish on Celtics supporters everywhere. The conflict between the Celtics and Lakers ranks among the NBA's most intense rivalries, with Boston narrowly leading in the championship count, 18-17. This rivalry transcends mere basketball. It's woven into the culture and legacy of both teams. For many Boston fans, the decision feels unsettling, given the fierce competition between these two clubs and the razor-thin advantage the Celtics now maintain over the Lakers in championship titles by just one. On that unforgettable July day in 2025, social media ignited with the anguish of devastated Celtic supporters. Posts on X laid bare the feelings, with fans sharing their outrage and sorrow. One fan strikingly summed up the mood, declaring, "Marcus Smart is a Laker, and being a Celtics fan feels like a nightmare." The hurt was profound, instant, and consuming. Notable Celtics enthusiast and NBA analyst Bill Simmons voiced his sorrow passionately, accompanied by a meme that captured the gut-wrenching experience of watching Smart don a Lakers jersey. A dedicated Celtics supporter succinctly expressed this feeling during a podcast discussion. "We're in a situation where my guys, Luka Doncic and Marcus Smart, are now on opposing teams, and it hits hard for me." Another fan conveyed the emotional turmoil quite well. "It's like breaking up with a girlfriend and spotting her 2 weeks later with your brother, who didn't give you a heads up. That's the vibe." However, the most revealing response came from the awareness Smart had about the challenge he faced ahead. "I might speculate, though I'm uncertain, but I can assert that I foresee ample alcohol and a wave of animosity. That's all right. I get where it's coming from." His comments made in his first interview with the Lakers revealed that Smart fully grasped the gravity of his choice. He recognized he was stepping over a threshold that was irreparable, shattering the spirits of supporters who'd rallied behind him for almost 10 years. A clash of loyalties and shattered bonds. Marcus Smart's transfer to the Lakers was already a jolt to the NBA, but what truly ignited the headlines was the thickening discord between Smart and the Celtics star, Jayson Tatum, which had been simmering for years. To grasp the depth of this unfolding saga, we must rewind to November 2021, a pivotal moment that shifted the Celtics' internal relationships and laid the groundwork for what was yet to come. The Celtics had just collapsed, squandering a 19-point advantage in a brutal 128-114 defeat to the Chicago Bulls. Early season woes left them with a disappointing 2 wins and 5 losses, and tensions were rising. However, the aftermath of that game would ripple throughout the organization, forging a division that many felt never truly mended. In an unexpected turn of events, Marcus Smart chose to voice his concerns openly. Following a 128-114 defeat against the Chicago Bulls on November 1st, 2021, where the Celtics squandered a 19-point lead, Smart publicly called out Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown for their stagnant ball distribution. His remarks were sharp yet thoughtful, leaving a lasting impact on the basketball community. "All teams recognize our focus on Jayson and Jaylen, and every competitor has analyzed strategies to counter them. With everyone down the court, it forces those two to look for passes. The reluctance to share the ball is a lesson yet to be learned." That statement, their hesitance to pass, hit the Celtics' locker room like a thunderclap. Their emotional cornerstone and defensive stalwart was openly criticizing the squad's top 2 stars in front of the nation. The ramifications were immense. This wasn't just a whispered rumor to a journalist or a private chat that slipped out. Marcus Smart addressed the media, raising concerns about the basketball intelligence and choices of Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown. The timing intensified the impact of his remarks. Smart's critique followed a game in which Tatum faltered in the 4th quarter, managing only 2 points on a 1-for-8 shooting performance, while Brown remained scoreless from 2 attempts. The Celtics' offense appeared stagnant and predictable, with both stars opting for tough shots instead of involving open teammates. For Tatum, who was positioning himself as the franchise's face and bearing significant expectations, Smart's public reproach was an unexpected blow that caught him off guard. Several months afterward, while guesting on JJ Redick's podcast, Tatum disclosed the impact those remarks had on him. "It definitely hit me hard. One must grasp, especially as an NBA player, the weight of such moments, particularly after we just squandered an 18-point lead against Chicago, right at the season start." Tatum's reaction was revealing. His mention of being taken by surprise indicated that he and Smart hadn't discussed these matters beforehand. In the realm of professional basketball, where synergy and trust are critical, having a teammate openly challenge your choices without forewarning represents a serious violation of team protocol. However, damage control was swiftly initiated. Celtics president of basketball operations Brad Stevens stepped in, stressing the need for resolving issues behind closed doors. Always diplomatic, Stevens aimed to downplay the situation while clarifying how conflicts should be approached in the future. Stevens acknowledged that Smart had a conversation with Tatum and Brown the day following the incident to address the remarks. He observed Smart and Tatum sharing breakfast while brainstorming solutions, suggesting a desire to tackle the problem within the team. To an outsider, it seemed like everything had been settled. The players had communicated they were ready to advance, and the team could redirect its focus to basketball. However, those familiar with the dynamics understood that tensions lingered beneath the surface. Though Smart, Tatum, and Brown kept their demeanor professional while playing, hints suggested that tensions lingered beneath the surface. The flow of interaction between Tatum and Smart, once effortless, occasionally felt strained. The warm bond that characterized their connection in Smart's formative years gave way to a more measured approach. Ultimately, the Celtics enjoyed a successful 2021-22 season, advancing to the NBA Finals before losing to the Golden State Warriors. Their on-court synergy notably enhanced during this season, highlighted by a positive performance from both Smart and Tatum. Smart's position as a facilitator stood out clearly, and the stats linking him with Tatum appeared solid at first glance. Yet, observant fans could detect a nuanced shift in their dynamic. Previously characterized by effortless chemistry and seamless integration, their partnership now felt more structured and less organic. Smart's facilitating skills were particularly highlighted during the 2021-22 season, during which he recorded 310 assists, with 96 going specifically to Tatum, leading to 226 points generated from those assists. On the surface, both players articulated the right sentiments. Tatum, always the consummate professional, lauded Smart's sharp basketball intellect and seasoned guidance. He referred to Smart as his preferred teammate during a March 2023 conversation with ESPN's Dorsberg, highlighting Smart's keen passing skills and basketball acumen. Yet, despite the commendation, there was a hint of insincerity, an impression that he was delivering expected remarks instead of genuinely expressing himself. The truth is, the incident in November 2021 had profoundly shifted the rapport between Smart and the Celtics' emerging stars. While their teamwork remained functional, the effortless trust and candid dialogue that once defined their bond had taken a hit. Smart, long recognized as the emotional anchor and vocal leader within the team, now faced the challenge of managing a more intricate dynamic with players who had evolved into essential figures of the franchise. Reflecting on the criticism he voiced, one could identify legitimate basketball observations nestled within Smart's exasperation. The Celtics' offensive play seemed lackluster, heavily leaning on Tatum and Brown for shot creation instead of integrating other teammates into the mix. Smart, a seasoned point guard celebrated for his defensive grit and inspirational presence, voiced his irritation over the Stars' reluctance to pass, which aimed to mitigate defensive tactics meant to stifle them. However, the way he chose to air these grievances publicly, right after a disappointing defeat and seemingly without prior dialogue with the players involved, indicated a frustration that extended beyond mere basketball tactics. Smart, a veteran with the organization prior to both Tatum and Brown, observed the transformation within the team structure. His role as the definitive leader was fading. Rather, he found himself perceived more as a complement to the rising talents of the squad. This change in roles was illustrated by a significant statistic that would later symbolize the situation. During Smart's outspoken critique, he averaged 8.8 points and 4 assists, while his shooting percentage languished at a mere 29%. At the same time, Tatum was solidifying his status as a true All-NBA talent, while Brown was stepping up as a reliable secondary scoring option. The team structure was evident, and Smart's remarks seemed to reflect not just his irritation with his shifting role, but also the broader concerns about team dynamics. Following the incident, intriguing viewpoints surfaced from various areas of the basketball community. Certain analysts and ex-players supported Smart's freedom to express his thoughts as a seasoned leader, whereas others took issue with his method, suggesting that these matters ought to be resolved privately. Media attention escalated the incident, with various sources describing it as indicative of a troubled team dynamic. However, the most significant element of the entire scenario lay in how it influenced the future exchanges between Smart and Tatum. Despite their ongoing collaboration and shared triumphs on the court, an ever-present strain hinted that their bond had been irrevocably changed by that night in November 2021. This raises important implications for championships, rivalries, and their legacies. Beneath the surface of emotions, dramatics, and fan responses, the pivotal question remains. What does the addition of Smart signify for the Lakers' championship hopes? It influences the entire Western Conference dynamics and impacts one of the league's historic rivalries. This signing's basketball ramifications go well beyond the $11 million contract, potentially altering the course for several teams and paving the way for intriguing narratives in NBA history. First, let's examine what Smart offers to a Lakers squad that is keenly in need of his unique abilities. A 3-time first-team All-Defensive selection and the 2022 NBA Defensive Player of the Year, Smart is expected to fulfill the Lakers' requirement for a strong point of attack defender. This goes beyond merely expanding the roster. It's about addressing a significant gap that has troubled the Lakers for ages. The insights from Lakers expert Mike Trudeau succinctly highlighted Smart's defensive impact. Indeed, he's still around 30 or 31, and his skill set is precisely the type the Lakers are searching for. A player who can join Luka or Austin on the court, or even team up with both, thanks to his defensive skills. Smart is tough and reliable on defense. He can hold his ground and switch effectively. He can hold his own against larger opponents. The synergy with the Lakers' star athletes is especially captivating, as LeBron James kicks off his 23rd year in the NBA and Luka Doncic emerges as the key figure for the franchise. Smart brings an element neither player possesses: top-tier defensive prowess paired with seasoned leadership acquired through 108 playoff games. His background of 9 straight playoff runs with the Boston Celtics and his role as a guide during his time in Washington will be crucial for a squad looking to contend in the Western Conference. Smart has also voiced his belief in the team's possibilities. "We rank among the elite without a doubt. I believe we recognize when the heat is on. It seems there are no barriers." However, Smart's influence extends past mere numbers. His contributions as a relentless defender and constant irritant infuse the team with energy, guidance, and exceptional basketball intelligence, fulfilling the cultural demands that championship-caliber teams need. The Lakers have not featured a player possessing Smart's defensive skills and passionate leadership since their 2020 championship season. J.J. Redick's evaluation of Smart's influence was especially perceptive. He's someone who consistently contributes to winning moments. The integration of offense brings both chances and hurdles. Smart is a supportive contributor recognized for his ability to create opportunities. With a career average of 4.6 assists per game and a relentless work ethic, he does have his drawbacks. His shooting stats, at 38.8% from the field and 32.4% from beyond the arc, raise valid issues regarding floor spacing, particularly in an offense that focuses on don't sit, who excels with shooters around him. Nonetheless, Smart's basketball intelligence and grasp of his role might help ease these worries. His low shot volume, under 6,000 attempts over 11 seasons, coupled with his recognition of his own limits, indicates that he is unlikely to hinder the offensive flow. He's anticipated to take on the role of a secondary ball handler, probably starting off the bench. With Donaldson and Austin Reeves as the primary starters, the dynamics of the roster are equally intriguing. The Lakers' acquisition of Smart has ignited rumors of more roster adjustments, especially regarding Gavin Sinn's $11.5 million expiring contract. As Donaldson and Reeves are likely to log significant minutes, Vincent's position might wane, rendering him a potential trade target for further roster enhancements. Analyst Jovan Buha articulated the strategic rationale behind the Lakers' summer activities, indicating that Smart essentially serves as a spiritual successor to the DFS concept. Regarding effective communication and building a robust defensive culture, Dorian Finney-Smith's influence on winning, despite modest stats, stands out. The significance of the Western Conference cannot be overlooked. Smart is confident that the Lakers can hold their own against leading Western teams such as the Thunder, Nuggets, and Rockets. His ability to adapt defensively and his playoff background could prove vital in a conference where any mistake could be costly. However, the most intriguing element of this signing is the way it alters the Lakers-Celtics rivalry for the foreseeable future. The idea of Smart participating in the biannual clashes between the Celtics and Lakers intensifies the rivalry, as supporters look forward to a fiery welcome upon his return to TD Garden. The historical backdrop elevates this situation even further. Smart becomes part of a select circle of only 42 athletes who have donned both Celtics and Lakers jerseys. Yet his current prime status sets him apart, with the potential to significantly influence championship goals. However, the health aspect is the most unpredictable element in this scenario. Smart's past injuries raise legitimate concerns. In the last 2 seasons, he participated in merely 54 games, with some missed time attributed to an injury to his right index finger. At the age of 31, there are concerns about his durability, and the Lakers' aspirations for a title could depend on his capacity to maintain his health during key moments. Smart's motivation appears to be elevated as he conveyed his feelings. "Honestly, I'm restless. I'm like a dog seeing the tree with the toy, eagerly waiting, tugging at the leash, just wanted to be set free, just wanted to run. As I mentioned earlier, I thrive on competition and have a passion for basketball. The timing for championship aspirations is essential. With LeBron James gearing up for his 23rd season in the NBA and Don Sid poised for a potential 4-year extension worth $222 million starting August 2nd, 2025, they form the foundation of a roster build for immediate triumph. Smart's 2-year contract fits seamlessly within this championship timeframe, though his player option allows him maneuverability for the 2026 free agency period. Strategically, Smart's adaptability offers coach J.J. Redick a range of possibilities. With Redick at the helm, the Lakers strive to harmonize their scoring strength with adaptable defense, and Smart brings a defensive focus guard to contend with top-notch Western Conference backcourts. The mental influence is significant as well. A player like Smart, known for his defensive prowess and championship background, can raise the defensive intensity and dedication of the whole squad. His mere presence could encourage teammates to take greater responsibility defensively, generating a ripple effect that goes beyond just his individual impact. In the wider context of the NBA, Smart's acquisition reflects the ongoing trend of seasoned players pursuing titles as they near the end of their careers. At 31, Smart finds himself in a position where his next contract could mark his final major financial opportunity. positioning this Lakers stint as both a potential milestone for his legacy and a means for economic stability. The key question persists. Can this Lakers squad with Smart as a vital defensive asset contend for a championship? The Western Conference boasts powerhouses like Oklahoma City, Denver, and a strengthened Houston team featuring Kevin Durant. While Smart's presence may not catapult the Lakers to frontrunner status, it undeniably narrows the competition and provides a genuine shot at playoff success. What's clear is that Smart's choice to join the Lakers has sparked one of the most intriguing narratives in contemporary NBA lore. Whether he leads Los Angeles to a title or evolves into yet another cautionary tale of seasoned players in pursuit of championship glory, his influence on the league goes well beyond mere basketball numbers. He has intensified the most iconic rivalry in NBA history, inspired optimism among Lakers supporters, shattered dreams for Boston, and laid the groundwork for what is sure to be one of the most intense seasons we've seen in a long time. Enjoy this video, and tap the card displayed on your screen for additional content.